Hey, what's up, everyone? I was just sorting through some wheat pennies. I figured I'd take a few minutes to make a video. I don't know if you were keeping track of I don't want to say precious metals, but the metals market yesterday, but things were going crazy. Not only did gold go up I think like $40 an ounce, and silver went up $2 an ounce, platinum was up, palladium was up, but also nickel and copper. And that's what kind of brings me to where we are right here. Now, in front of us, I have wheat pennies. So wheat pennies are made from 1909 to 1958, and they are basically almost all copper. From 1959 to 1981, every memorial cent that was made is also nearly all copper. Okay, there's some small alloy. The alloy contains some other metals too, but it's mainly copper. And then in 1982, some of them are copper, and some are zinc. So I usually don't count the 82s. But in front of us, we have wheat pennies, and something big happened yesterday. The price of copper went up to I think like 467 or 468 a pound, which means that the melt value of a single copper penny is a little over 3 cents. Now, has this happened before? Yes, it has. It happened a few years back, at least one time, probably more than that. Then sometimes it sinks right back down. In the last handful of years, copper's gone from like maybe the mid threes to maybe the mid to slightly over mid fours. Well, right now it's about 467 a pound, and it looks like it's not slowing down. I've made videos before about how when I go through change, I always pull out copper pennies, and I have a Home Depot bucket, and I throw them in a Home Depot bucket. So if I see a beat-up 1977 penny, to someone else it's worth 1 cent. To me, well, depending on the time, it's worth either 2.2 cents, 2.3 cents. Right now, it's worth between 3 and 3.1 cents. So I just throw that in a bucket. Now, I've had people say to me, why would you even bother doing that? Pennies can't be melted. Well, that's true. Legally, a penny cannot be melted. It's kind of strange. I mean, you can melt 90% silver coins, and there's nothing against that. I mean, those get melted daily by coin shops and refineries and all that stuff. But you can't melt pennies. Probably has something to do with the fact that the value is less than the cost to actually make them, but you can't. So because of that, some people think that really there's no value in it. But I would argue that besides any numismatic value that some of them have, that it is a store of value. I mean, people don't want to kind of face that because it's not really exciting. Because if you have a gold coin that's this size, like say a $5 gold eagle, you're looking right now at a coin with a melt value of about $240, with premiums maybe $260, $270. Well, me getting on here saying, hey, this 1 cent coin isn't actually worth 1 cent, it's worth like 3.01 cents. That doesn't really get people excited. But you know what? It is, if you look at it, it's actually a coin that's actually worth more than its value. I mean, for years in this country, we had silver coins that were valued because they had intrinsic value. We had gold coins. Think about it. We had gold coins that were $1, $2.50, $3, $5, $10, $20. We had 3 cent, 3 cent half dime, which is 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cent, 25 cent, and 50 cent and $1 silver coins that all had intrinsic value. And then even a little bit lower on that scale, we had copper coins. We had half pennies. We had large cents, and they all had copper, and they all had intrinsic value to them. So this is something that you can actually find in your pocket that not only has actual intrinsic value, but is actually more than the face value. Now, the same can be said for nickels. I think right now, last time I checked, I think nickel is about 9 cents per, $9 per pound. So I think the melt value on a nickel is like 7 cents. Again, you can't melt those. 7 cents. But if you think about it, that's, see, about 40%, I believe. Yeah, 40% over face value. Well, you look at the pennies. Pennies are like, 300 and something percent of face value. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome. And to be honest with you, I can really see copper going up a lot more in like the coming years. I mean, you think about it. Inflation. Everything has gone up. When I go to the market, I joke with my wife and say, boy, I should have invested in ramen noodles. Because, I mean, they've like doubled in price the last couple of years. So, if ramen noodles will double in price and actually they doubled in price in months. If ramen noodles doubled in price in a matter of months, who's to say one of these days you might not see these pennies be worth 9 or 10 or 11 cents a piece? Because really, in order for it to go up to, let's say, 10 cents a piece, you'd probably have to have maybe $14 copper. That's just off the top of my head. Is it likely now in the near future? I don't think so. But I wouldn't be shocked if copper prices broke $5 a pound or, 5 change. A couple of years, maybe they go to 6 or 7. Wouldn't be surprising at all. If everything in our lives is going up, whether it be fuel, food, clothes, and whatnot, who's to say that copper pennies aren't going to go up in price due to the copper? And then the other thing that kind of makes me think is that when you look at these copper pennies we have, they're not rare. There were billions of them made some years. So, I mean, these are not by any means rare coins. But what could be interesting is if there's ever a change in law which says that you could actually melt the pennies. Because then if that happens, then you probably see mass meltings. I could definitely see people getting huge numbers of pennies and, basically tripling their money. At that point, getting 10 times their money and melting them. And then that's kind of interesting because then you actually have maybe a severe reduction in the numbers of coins. I mean, there's a lot of let's say, pick your coin, Morgan dollar, standing liberty, seated liberty. And, a lot of them got lost to history because they got melted. Who's to say if maybe there were some coins that actually, at least in really good condition, ended up becoming something that people might actually want, might trigger some interest in actually collecting them. Again, not to say that any rarities would be collected, especially since like a billion or two might have been made, but I don't know, might kind of launch some renewed interest in people collecting these things. But anyway, my big thing for collecting them and saving them is just because I really, really enjoy them. Now, here in front of us, we have my sorting tray. And believe it or not, I got this thing at Hobby Lobby. My wife likes to go to Hobby Lobby. And I was looking for a box that would be convenient for me to sort pennies in. So what I tend to do is I sort them by decades. So as you can see right here, I have one little slot here for teens. Then I have 20s. I have 30s. These are the 40s and 50s. As you can tell, you kind of run across the most of those. And then I have a section here for steel cents, Indian heads that pop up. I do save 1959 because it's the first year of the memorials. And then here I put some of the better ones, like either the reds or the red browns. I'll put those there. And then with these dates here, teens and 20s, I'll usually make solid date rolls, like date and mint mark, like 19S or 1915D or whatever. So I make those solid date rolls, and then solid rolls of steel cents and whatnot. But I don't know, I was going through these today, and it's kind of exciting, I think, to see that these things are on the move. Like I said, I don't look to this to make me rich or anything, but I don't know, it's just a cool thing. I figured I'd share it with you because I know a lot of you guys who are into firearms and knives and prepping and stuff, you're also into this kind of stuff. The other thing is, you always hear people talk about, bartering with silver. Because, they say, gold is for your larger wealth, silver is to barter. Makes sense to me. Total sense. And then you hear people say the best thing to buy are dimes because if you're going to make a small purchase, Well, the dimes are good because they're pretty easy to. Basically, you figure coins aren't divisible, so you want the smaller amounts. Makes sense. But guess what? You got some copper here. Some people might actually want that stuff because, well, it's copper. But then again, I'm trying to guess what things will be like in an economic apocalypse. Who knows? But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. And if you like this video, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks a lot.